So let me thank you very much. VRA has been a very, very instrumental institution as far as our energy sector is concerned. Right from Kosombo through Pong, through Aboaze, and now the renewables that you are venturing in, you've been an anchor and a pillar. And sometimes when I look at the energy architecture, I ask myself, but without VRA, where would we have been? And that is true. It's very true. No country has developed without what we call cheap base load power. And when we talk about cheap base load power, we are talking about consistent power that is supplied to anchor the economy. And look at what Akosombo and Pong has done. And I was telling your chief executive that my experience with the IPPs has shown me that we have to invest heavily in VRA. And if you do the economics, and today you look at how much we pay to IPPs every month, if we are taking a bold decision and decide that, look, the tariffs we are charging today, let's escrow those amounts into an account. We're talking of about 70 million every month, US dollars. That is on the back of the envelope, 700, 140, $840 million every year, not cedis, times the number of years the IPPs have been operating. Don't you think that if we had escrowed this money, we could have built more thermal plants with VRA and sell the power at a cheaper price? But the reality is that sometimes we all pretend. So when we have VRA, we say that don't charge tariffs because it's VRA. So we pretend. But when it's IPPs, we are compelled to charge the tariffs. We are compelled to collect the money. So why can't we do the same with VRA and even charge half of what we are charging? And we'll still make it. The other thing is how we even do our energy architecture. When Ameri was brought in, there was a lot of criticism. Fair. I mean, that is democratic. We can't all be perfect, and we'll continue to learn. But after 5-6 years, Ameri has become the property of VRA. If we had done the same with the other plants, what it means is that every year or every 2 years, a plant will be transferred to VRA. A plant will be transferred to VRA. And before no time, we'll build the capacity of VRA. So I've told Chief that let's see how VRA on its own, with government support, can procure more thermal plants, even with the private sector. So the VRA is the lead agency. VRA holds a majority share, and you can do a PPP with the private sector, so that after some years, when you pay them off, you keep the plant for yourselves, rather than going for the full IPP solution. Because demand is increasing, and demand is projected to hit about 8,000 by 2040 thereabout. Are we going to bring IPPs to fill that 4,000 megawatts gap? And are we going to pass all that cost onto the consumer? We certainly cannot do that. I've done the numbers. I'm a finance person. I'm an economics person. So I know what it means in energy economics when you bring in a plant that you do not have control over. And in every country, the country wants to have control over the energy sector because it's a security issue as well. So as minister, I want us to adopt a paradigm shift where we put VRA at the fore, provide VRA with the necessary support, and ensure that VRA acquires more power plants for the nation, but at an affordable, competitive, transparent price. We don't want any padding. We don't want any fat. Let's go for bare bone efficient plants that will serve the national interest. So far, this sector is experiencing some significant progress. We've negotiated with the IPPs, and based on the numbers I'm seeing, I'm confident that we can save a lot of money. And so far, what the IPP renegotiating team has done tells me that we are saving about $300 million from the IPPs. The previous administration did their bit. We've also come to improve on it, and that is what we ought to be doing. It's not always about politics. Let's sometimes put the nation's interest first. If we do it for Ghana. And so I don't care your political affiliation as you sit here. In 4 years' time, you will determine what happens. But before the 4 years, let's put VRA first, let's put Ghana first, and let's work and turn around this sector. This year's budget is giving us 28 billion, not for investments, but to pay energy sector shortfalls. If it continues like that, next year will be 35 billion. If we don't stop it, what it means is that eventually, energy sector shortfalls alone will consume the whole budget, and it's not sustainable. So I've been working with the team aggressively to turn around that unfortunate scenario so that eventually we can win the energy sector of the national budget. And from what we are paying, from the revenues we are generating, from the improvements that we are making, I can see that there's light at the end of the tunnel, even though there's more to be done. My final word to you, Chief Executive, is that workers want to give up their best, but their welfare is also very, very important. It looks like that one gave me the highest applause. But that is true. That is true. I mean, during Nkrumah's days, my father used to tell me that they had a slogan, work and happiness. So even as they work, please, let's ensure that we motivate them and give them the necessary tools that they're required to deliver. I want to thank management. I want to thank the staff. Please continue to work with your Chief Executive. The President has chosen him to help us to achieve his vision. It's not a one-man show. It's all of us. If we do it together, we take the credit, Ghana takes the credit, and we make progress. On that note, let me thank all of you. I'll come back here again, but I'll come alone quietly and see whether you receive me the way you've received me today. But I know you receive me well, so I'm so grateful, and thanks for your time. God bless us all. Thank you.